Hello everyone, this is Magnus, CEO and founder of Scientia, a startup dedicated to developing AIs for businesses. We like to say that we make math magic for businesses, and in the case series that we are recording, we'll show you guys where the magic comes from. In this video, we're gonna talk about Angelia. Angelia, as our other AIs, has a bunch of different algorithms and different methods inside it, and it's a little bit different because although it's targeted at marketing, it also looks at sales data. The idea here is actually looking at the marketing strategy, the marketing variables, and trying to find what actually is affecting sales, if it's actually contributing and how much is it contributing. Instead of just looking at marketing as a separate entity, we're looking at marketing directed at generating sales. And in this case, we were working at a physical store, a violin store in Philadelphia, and as in many other customers that we had, they had a bunch of data and almost no analytics. They were doing some very simple stuff, weren't actually exploring all the opportunities that their data could offer. They were experiencing absolutely no growth. They were stagnant, and although they were also trying some new marketing ideas and new marketing strategies, they weren't actually yielding any results. So they turned to data science, AIs, and to actually look at how they could improve their sales. And as I said, Angelia, it's looking at marketing data, but it also consuming sales data. It's a product on top of marketing. It's interested in the marketing area, but it's also closely related to what are the actual results in terms of sale, which is pretty much as I was saying, how marketing is causing sales using supervised learning, machine learning. So what is supervised learning? When we were talking about the Mercurius case, we talked about unsupervised learning, which was about clustering, and in supervised learning, we're trying to look at something, a direct relationship between variables, which is basically, in our case, how marketing is generating sales. So let's say, for instance, this is in the x-axis, we have money spent on LinkedIn, and in the y-axis, we have the number of generated leads that actually converted into sales. So we have a bunch of different points for different things they've tried for different budgets, and we see that the average result was this red line. So this is an example of supervised learning. But the idea here is supervised learning usually is interested in prediction. So if we wanted to predict future sales based on marketing, the problem would pretty much be done. But we wanted to look at how important were the marketing variables. How was marketing affected sales? So for that, we need something that is pretty popular right now, which is Explainable AI. Trying to ask the AI or the algorithm why were those results. Why does it think that the sales results were caused by marketing? Why were the results the ones we've seen? And it has two main approaches. one is case specific, and the other is a general approach in terms of the whole variables. So the case specific Shapley values is the most popular one. The idea here in this example is, let's say you have a female customer aged 65 and has these two variables here, and the model outputs that the chance that she actually is gonna buy something is 40%. So for every lead that you generate in this for this customer profile, you're gonna generate for you have a chance of generating a sale of 40%, and this would be the black box model, which is what we do in most machine learning models. If you actually work with the Shapley values for Explainable AI, you try to understand what is the importance of each of these variables in this 40% result. So you have a base, you consider that there is a base rate of 0.1, and BMI is contributing 10%, BP at 180 is contributing another 10%. The fact that it's sex female is reducing it by 30%, and the age being 65, it's contributing 40%. So that's where we get our result of 40%. The thing here is, for each, if you change each of these variables, you're gonna have a different result and a different explanation. So it's very case specific, right? And so let's say, for instance, that if you try to look at customers, if you change the age from 65 to maybe 25, all these results would be changed. Not only the prediction would change, your conversion prediction would change, but also the contribution for each of the other variables, including age, actually, all the variables would change. So it's a way to see the results from a case by case scenario. And there's also the generalistic approach, where you see the whole variable. Instead of actually looking at each entry, you look at the whole variable. So let's consider the most important variables. So in this case, the most important variable is this variable CT. The second most important variable is age, which is about 40-something% as important as CT. The third most important is NS time, and then log SEA, and so on and so forth. See, look at in here, the interesting thing is you're not looking at what is the value of CT, what is the age of the person. You're just looking at the general importance of each variable, which is usually our approach to this specific problem. Because we can try both things, but it's easier to comprehend the general importance, and then when you are actually trying to optimize the results, you can try a bunch of different things and see the explanations for why you should choose to spend money on those profiles, on those medias, and marketing pieces and all of that. So the Explainable AI is going to return the explanation to Angelia, which is going to generate a report to the user. So what did we get after the project was done? Of course, dashboards and reports. They would get a much more direct. They could do a much more directed marketing strategy, because they would know who they should target, what were the best channels, and what was the content that people were actually interested in seeing, and for the different products they wanted to sell. So if you could do a specific strategy for each product to actually maximize the sales for all the products. And what they were, if before the project they were stagnant, the sales grew by 36% in the following 12 months. So it was something pretty strong, pretty strong result in terms of adjusting their marketing strategy and seeing how much more sales they would get after that. And that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have more questions, again, there's more stuff that Angelia can do. And if you are curious, let us know, and we can talk a bit more about what it can do. Thank you, everyone.